I'm excited to have you here today. We're going to do that again. All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brandy Blige Adams, and I will be your personal wedding planner. And if you are returning, let's go ahead and do part 4. We're going to discuss going to look for your wedding dress. The mistake that I made that I don't want you guys to do is picking out your bridesmaid dresses before you pick out your wedding dress. So my bridesmaids knew all the information that they were supposed to know when it comes to the dresses. And then I went to go pick out my dress. And then guess what? I had to change their dresses because my dress, the material changed. So stay in this sequence, picking out your dress before you pick out your bridesmaid's dress. I wanted my wedding dress. Remember the 5 words that I told you guys to use? Black tie was my word. Just to reiterate the one word that I had that I just went along with during the entire wedding planning process. So when I was looking for my dress, I had my dress already on my Pinterest board. And I knew the body type that I have. I have a pear-shaped body, so I didn't want anything that would take away from my shape. I already knew what theme I was going with. I already knew what type of material of the dress I wanted it to be, and I knew the location that I wanted. I wanted a dress that nobody would have. I wanted my dress, Brandy's dress, a dress that's never been seen before, the runway. I took my friend Sabria. I took my friend Alexis. I took my godmother, and I took my mother-in-law and my mom because I wanted them to be able to experience and see me in the dress. You don't want to take too many people with you when you are going to dress shop, but I'll explain later on why you don't want to take too many people with you. I picked out my wedding dress about a year before the wedding because of alterations and because of the bridesmaid dresses that I had to pick and things like that. So I planned way ahead of time to get my wedding dress. I knew what size the wedding dress was going to be. I knew I had to stay within a certain range because there's only so much stretch in my dress. And I'm originally a size 8, but they put the dress when they ordered it, which was in like a size 10. That's the other thing. My dress took about 6 months to come in. Your dress can take 6 months to a year to come in. That's why it's really important for you guys to start your search early. Start your search for your wedding dress before you look for anybody else's materials, because it took 6 months to a year for it to come in. And I remember telling my family members that. I told my mom, my mom was like, 6 months to a year. And I was like, yeah, that's why we going so early. Like, I found my dress, like I said, a year in advance. So you don't want to look for it the day before and they don't have it in stock and they have to order it. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to consider your venue. Remember the 5 words, the Pinterest board, and the venue, and the colors that you chose. All of that is going to play into what type of dress you're going to pick out. You're not going to pick out a ballroom dress when you have a fall wedding. To me, I'm not going to do that. If I had a fall wedding, I would pick a lace dress. That's just my opinion. You can respect it or not. But I think that's what you should do, is to trust your instincts. If you feel like something is the dress that everybody's saying isn't the dress, trust your gut. Because you don't want to be like me and be like, man, I really should have went with that other dress. I should have trusted my gut, but once I started crying, it was over with. Like, I'm a big crybaby, so I was like, okay, let's just go with it. It's fine. It's fine. So you want to consider the season with lighter fabrics for warmer months, more substantial fabrics for colder seasons. The next tip that I have for you is to understand your dress code. Remember, our dress code was black tie. So I wasn't going to pick a dress that didn't fit the theme. And if I didn't know how to fit the theme of the dress that I wanted, that's where those pictures and the words are going to come into play. And you're going to show the person, say, hey, I have a black tie wedding, or I have a whimsical wedding. I'm thinking about this dress. Do you think it fits the theme? And the person that's helped you pick out your dress, they're going to say yes or no. Think about versatility. Like I stated, I wanted a dress that turned into 3 different dresses. You want to consider, okay, am I going to wear this to the after party? Am I going to wear this to the reception? Am I going to be able to dance in it? So you want to make sure that you can move and groove, and the dress is versatile for you to be able to do the vision that you plan for your wedding day. The thing is, check the fine print. when it comes to purchasing your dress. I had an entire folder, Bridal by Lori. I still have it to this day. And it had the timeline the dress would come in. It had the policies. It had the return date if I wanted it, which was 48 hours. So you want to read that in its own entirety. Wedding planning can be beautiful, but you can also turn it into something that can become a headache, and it really didn't need to be because you didn't take the time out to read. So read those policies. You're also picking out your wedding dress. If you haven't picked out your hairstyle, if you thought about your hairstyle, a lot of brides already know. If you're going to have an updo, you're not going to have a dress that kind of covers like this. If you're going to have an updo, going to want to have a dress that's like cut from here and your shoulders are showing. If you're going to have long hair, you're going to want to have a dress like this that's not too accessorized up here. If you're going to have a dress, going to have your hair in an updo and you want dangly earrings, like those are little things that you're going to have to think about. Also, think about the undergarments that you're going to have to wear in your dress. My dress was very lacy. It was thick, but at the same time, you still could see through in certain areas. So I had to plan like, okay, this area shows, or this area shows, or that area shows. So it's more than picking out the dress you want. Make sure you can get the items that you need in order to look classy and to look put together on your wedding day. Your makeup. Your makeup is also going to help your wedding dress too. It's going to accentuate it or it's going to take away from it. My makeup, I wanted a very natural beat because if I put too much makeup on, it's not a pretty sight. So I told my makeup artist, I was like, hey girl, I showed her the wedding dress because she was going to actually do my makeup. So, but I showed her it on my phone. It wasn't something where it was like, oh, well, let me send it to you. No, because nobody was allowed to see it. But when she saw it, she's like, okay, I know exactly what look to do. So consider makeup options when you're picking out your dress. Now, if you find a wedding dress that you really, really like, but it's just not customized to your expertise, ask them if they can customize a dress. Some designers can cut off sleeves, some designers can make it shorter. They can do certain things to the dress because it was their dress. And they can make it something that nobody else has ever seen. So always ask, hey, am I able to customize this dress? They'll either say yes or they'll say no. The thing you want to think about is dress preservation. Do you want to preserve your dress? Do you want to put it in? I saw this girl, she had like a really big glass mirror and she put her dress in it. It was so beautiful. So you're thinking about, do I want to preserve my wedding dress or do I just want to hang it up? Now, here's a very, 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 very important announcement. Does your dress have a bustle? And if you don't know what a bustle is the back of your dress where it has like a little hanging point where you can pin up your dress and it still looks good, but your dress is actually pinned up in the back so you won't trip over it. Make sure you have a bustle point. And if the dress does not have a bustle point, which majority of the dresses do, make sure you take it to your local seamstress or whoever your person is to work on your clothes and make sure you get a bustle. Because if you don't, you will be tripping over that dress all night, looking like a fool. You won't look like a fool in your wedding. The other tip I have is think beyond trends. Like, don't pick a wedding dress just because it's in style. Like I stated in my first video, me and my husband wanted everything we did to be timeless. So, not gonna lie, although that was an option I truly wanted to go with, that dress is truly timeless. Like 50 years from now, I'm sure it's going to be the same dress that everybody's wearing, the little thing that falls off. Pick a dress that's you. Don't pick a dress that is anybody else because there may be some people that's like, girl, you need to get this dress, or girl, you need to get that dress, and da da da. But if you like a dress that nobody likes, then so be it. That's your dress, baby girl. Do your thing, boo. So, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you got some clarity on how to look for a wedding dress. And remember, this is just a process and you're going to learn the do's and the don'ts. I'm forward to seeing you in the next one. And guess what we're going to talk about? Bride reveal time. See you guys later.